just finished before we went on the air here.
Yeah.
With Bad News Barrett. Some stuff with him that we're going to be rolling out.
Absolutely. Bad News Barrett was in the studio today. We did a bunch of videos with him. He's, actually, by the time that this podcast goes up, we will have revealed that already. So I'm
don't worry about
I'm not worried about saying that now. But yeah, Bad News Barrett is in the game. It's the first time he's in the game as Bad News Barrett. He's a featured player. It's going to be very cool, and we're excited to see the game. There's a lot of really new, cool content that we're going to be revealing as part of IGN first.
Right, and the thing that makes it super interesting, besides just bringing WWE talent to you guys through various things that we're up to this month, is the game itself. Not only I've already heard from some people on my Twitter, because my Twitter tends to have a lot of people who are into the same things I'm into. It's natural, right? And I am personally not a big WWE guy. Just never really stuck with me as a kid. I grew up in the Hulkamania era, but WWE is huge. And so some people have tweeted me like, come on, give me something better. But it's like lots of people love WWE and the games. The games sell huge, and they do. I mean, we have lots of data on IGN that shows when we do WWE stuff, people love it. So
absolutely,
there is a huge audience out there for it. If it's not your cup of tea this month, hopefully next month we'll have some.
I would still encourage you to give it a shot and just take a look at the content, because the way they're making this game and kind of the way they're presenting it has been a big endeavor for them, and it's a huge departure from the way they've done things in the past, which is super cool. I myself am also not a big wrestling guy, but having gone up to 2K's mocap studio and seen these wrestlers performing their moves in the flash, flying around, doing these crazy slams and stuff, it's a wildly athletic thing that they're doing, and it is super cool to see all that stuff translate into the game. So if you're interested in that stuff, maybe take a look at the content. You may find yourself surprised.
It is also the first full year since 2K bought the license from the ashes of THQ. And, you guys, everybody knows what 2K has done with the NBA series. And the same team, Visual Concepts, is contributing development efforts on WWE now, too. So it's kind of the NBA 2K-ification of WWE to some extent.
Who's your favorite wrestler, just in general?
Again, it just never. I mean, Andre the Giant was cool in The Princess Bride.
Rafiki. I'm kidding. That's the only one I remember. I remember he was kind of like, well, I don't know if this is true, but I watched wrestling back when I was like in 5th grade.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like.
I watched it when I was young.
He was the character, the wrestler that like no one liked all that much. Like he was a second tier in terms of popularity. So I was like, I like that
heel.
Yeah.
As they call it, I think.
Do you remember the old wrestling fighting game that had the clown in it with the big slap hands? Did you guys ever play that?
No.
It was a fighting game. You go into the thing and it had a combo-based system. Anyway, the clown was my favorite character.
Destin's on the record. The clown.
Yeah, the clown guy who I can't remember.
Yeah.
And Hulk Hogan, of course. But I didn't want to say Hulk because that's such a
everyone
easy
says
one.
Yeah. Either love it or hate it, but I guess most people love it.
Yeah.
So, WWE 2K15 all month, first next-gen version this year. So, check that out on IGN, first all month long. And that brings us to Gamescom, gentlemen. Gamescom is it's a happy time. It is basically the European E3, if you guys aren't familiar. Huge turnout. I mean, it's just numbers-wise, it's actually way bigger than E3. It's something like 300,000
north of 300,000 people
attended every year.
It's a lot.
Last year was my
public days are crazy.
Yeah, last year was my first year going. You were with me, Destin.
He was there.
I was there.
That's right. Yeah, all three of us.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like we were all there last year.
Yeah.
We did the show from my hotel room that year.
That's right. We did the podcast.
Yeah. Gamescom is a really incredible show. It is, for those of you who might have been to E3, imagine the West Hall, where most of the big sort of booths are, like Microsoft, Sony. Is that the West Hall?
Sorry,
I think that's the South Hall.
Correct. Yeah.
Where all the big games are.
Yeah, where you have Nintendo's, Sony's, and Microsoft's booths. Gamescom is like 7 of those halls right next to each other.
Yeah,
it's
true.
Enormous, and
also,
it's
200,000 more people on each one of those.
Exactly.
Right.
Now it is, like you guys mentioned, the reason for that is because it is open to the public. It is something that you can buy a ticket for and not be part of Games Media. So it's a pretty huge show. But because it's the European E3, we're likely to see some new things announced, which is what this segment's about.
Yeah, so I know you didn't. I don't know if you'll have a couple of last-minute ones since we weren't sure you're.
I did this.
I'll get it started. Give you some time.
I talked him into
Make
this.
some Gamescom predictions because this time next week,
I was lying dead in
we'll
the
have
street
the
because
Xbox
of me.
briefing, which I'll go ahead and plug here. We will be carrying it live. On IGN, if you'd like to tune in and watch. It's going to be tough for you West Coast folks.
Where? IGN.com/Gamescom?
And we'll just stream it on the front page.
That's
too.
true.
So just
That's true.
hit IGN.com. We'll make it as easy as we can for you. It's going to be 5 a.m. with the time change. 5 a.m. Pacific.
Sweet.
A little easier for you East Coast folks. 8 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday. That's the 12th.
We're also going to rebroadcast later, I'm guessing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But,
so it starts with Microsoft, right?
Well,
And
that's when
Sony.
Microsoft's is. Actually, I believe Sony's is later on.
Sony's right after.
Right after. Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, that makes it easier for tuning into both. So, we already know that.
Let me rephrase that. I don't want to get called out in the comments. It's not right after. It's a few
Shortly
hours
thereafter.
after. Shortly thereafter.
Fair enough. So we already know that Remedy put out a video for Quantum Break before E3.
Yeah.
It said it was Sam Lake, who's amazing. I love that guy. He came out and said, "Hey, we're not going to be at E3. But guess what? We're going to come. We're going to whip this game out for you at Gamescom, which is much closer to their home turf. Those guys are in Finland, so they'll be there showing off the game. So I want to start my first prediction, Destin, is Quantum Break related. We know it's going to be there, so my prediction is that in addition to showing off the game, which they've already publicly promised, I think they're going to make a release date announcement, which I think is going to happen somewhere in the first. It's going to be somewhere in Q1 of 2015, maybe like
February.
March.
You're saying March?
That's my. All right, I'll go March specific.
Okay.
So that's one thing I think is going to happen in the realm of Xbox at Gamescom. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean that seems very.
Right.
Good.
I don't know. Out of town going off some steam. One drink turned into three, and three turned into who knows how many. I must have been driving pretty low. I killed him. Never forgive myself for doing this.
You don't know. You said it yourself. Details are easy. Take a look around here.
God, what have I done?
Brad. Could be B-Rad's car. Doesn't have to be Brad's.
I didn't know you were such a lightweight.